I know, 25 years, yippee! But as the name suggests, KnK is a brand of go-karts. Contrary to popular belief, a lot of people say, this is KnK, is it Khanapur, is it Karnataka, what is KnK? I mean, we have people coming to us and saying, we would never believe that we've got a go-kart factory over here.
That's how busy he is, and that's how involved he is in this business.
Okay, so for starters, for all the people who are new here, can you tell us what KnK Karts is all about?
The first kart, obviously at that time we didn't have a factory, we didn't have anything. We started at a roadside place, we had to build our first little jig. I love Monday mornings. I'm sorry, but we had to survive 7 or 8 months of no business. We were involved, we were responsible for changing the classification of go-karts. We were one of the first brands in the world to develop the world formula, and we were again the only manufacturer in India to develop two-stroke cars.
Oh.
Yes, and we were racing KnKs against those brands and winning. Even at Asia Zone races, which we had here in India and overseas in Malaysia, we would often go and win.
Okay, so hi everyone. Today is a very special day because we are here with the founder and managing director of KnK Karts, along with a very special person, his fiancée Harriette. So hi Ishaan, hi Harriette. Congratulations on this incredible milestone of 25 years.
Thank you.
So how does it feel to finally achieve this milestone that we've been planning for and talking about since so long now?
I know, 25 years, yippee! 25 years, can't believe it. Yeah. So it's been a long journey, Rashi. Yeah. It's come a long way. We've come a long way to be here. The lead up to this date, to this time of the year when we registered 25 years ago, has been quite an interesting journey. It didn't seem like 25 years all these years, but now, as we actually are upon 25 years, it does seem
it's all
significant.
Sinking in.
Yeah.
It's all hitting now.
It's significant. It feels important. It feels like we've accomplished something,
Yeah. And I've known him for 3 years now. And I think in these 3 years, we've actually seen, or I've seen him and the company grow. There has been a lot of evolution in the last 3 years, I guess, with the products, with the fan followers, with everyone, just the love for KnK, I guess, has also grown.
Yeah.
So which is good.
Yeah. With the whole marketing and branding side as well.
Absolutely. I won't,
because it's been 3 years since we started.
That needs
also
a very special mention.
Yeah.
The marketing aspect where you guys have come in and you guys have just brought this whole thing up, enlightened it and made it public for people to see. So that's also something. Yeah,
but you guys have been just incredible clients to work with. I mean, this is my personal favorite. So it's just been so nice to be working with you all.
We've enjoyed it as well. Every time we get together and we're doing these shoots and stuff like that, it's always been a lot of fun. Yeah,
because
there's a long way to go.
Yeah, I know. I was just coming to that. So okay. So for starters, for all the people who are new here, can you tell us what KnK Karts is all about?
Well, as the name suggests, KnK is a brand of go-karts, which started 25 years ago in the year 99 of November 99, and all we do is just our main core is manufacturing go-karts.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have been building them right from the beginning. Each along the way, we've developed karts for every segment of the market. Wherever, I remember, Dad and I there's so many memories of when he used to be around, where we used to talk about, there's a segment, this is some segment that we should cater to, there seems to be a demand in this segment of karting, right? So, so almost every segment, whether it's amusement karting, fun karting, hobby karting, club racing, even not international level racing, but high-end, top quality, two-stroke racing and stuff like that, endurance racing. So all of these segments, including off-roading and, off-road buggies and stuff like that. So we've done a lot we've done
Yeah.
for every segment. Wherever we found that there is potential, we have developed products for them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
been fun as well.
Yeah.
That's me at the
That's
back
right.
also.
That's right. That's Rashi.
Yeah.
That's the off-road carts. Yes.
Yeah. And basically, I think in short, KnK is a one-stop shop for all your karting solutions, be it your rental or race karts being manufactured,
Yeah.
the track design, which also includes your safety, your sanitary, and everything else that comes along with it, lighting, and it also has about barriers. It also has
Yeah.
buggies. So basically,
Correct.
a one-stop shop in shop, right? In for all everything related. to
Yeah,
karting.
and the track designing part also, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's another segment that we
Yeah.
have. So we have two companies. So one company is purely just kart manufacturing, that's KnK Karts Private Limited, and we have another consultancy company, which is called Visions Concept Realities Private Limited, which is a designing consultancy, prototyping. We do all sorts of stuff, mainly karting, but also outside of karting. But yeah, mainly we concentrate mostly on karting tracks, development of new projects. And of course, safety being a major concern, so we concentrate on that aspect as well. Running, operating of tracks, we guide our clients on that as well. So it's all of these things. It's a complete sort of envelope of for karting requirements.
So for a layman or for a newbie who's wanting to step into the world of karting or
Yep,
establish
one-stop
a track
shop.
of his
We
own.
make it
Here's your
easy.
guy.
We make it easy.
Yeah.
We make it easy. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So why the name KnK and what's the whole story behind it? And take us back to the early days of KnK. Tell us how it all started. In a
Well-
brief, of course. So
Well, talking about the name, contrary to popular belief, a lot of people said, is KnK, is it Khanapur, is it Karnataka, what is KnK? I mean, yeah, it's very, very funny. But actually KnK is Karts and Kit Cars.
okay.
So Karts is of course karts, go-karts, and Kit Cars is another division of the business that we are looking at doing. We've already done some prototyping work. We've done some stuff with cars, sports cars, concept cars, and stuff like that. So that's what KnK stands for.
Okay.
Yeah. So Karts and Kit Cars eventually became a private limited company. It started off as a proprietary company, and then it became a private limited company. And then, of course, there was a separate division where we started KnK Karts as one division that just does the manufacturing,
Yeah.
and the other division that does all the consultancy
Got it.
and stuff like that.
Okay.
And KnK is based out of Belgaum, which is in Karnataka. So we're very proud
Yeah.
to be a part of the many faces Karnataka has
Yeah,
seen, especially
yeah.
in manufacturing.
We have people coming to us and saying, we would never believe that you got a go-kart factory over here, Who would imagine that out here, in where we are located, you have go-kart manufacturing. People just can't believe it. And when they see the whole setup and stuff like that, it's just, it's a proud moment.
Not just even Belgaum, even like coming to the outskirts, it's Khanapur. So,
Yeah,
it's a different...
exactly.
Yes, it is a little village. For those of you who don't know what Khanapur is, I didn't know. I had no clue. I am a typical Bangalore girl to be. I'm a very proud Bangalore girl. But I think I started coming to Belgaum more often, to Khanapur more often, once I met Ishaan. And Khanapur is literally a little village, and there is this industrial layout out here. But the people we have, the employees we have, we'll talk more about that.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how a small little village can.
Yeah, she's come in here and she's seen all of it. She's
The
come in and
potential
she's.
it has.
Yeah.
She's,
It's amazing. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I have my many special moments with her, and I show her around and I show her things that we do, and it's
Yeah.
like yes.
It's beautiful.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us the whole story about, the first kart you built, and how did you know that, okay, this is something that, your passion lies in. And let's get into it.
I'm going to try and keep it short, Rashi.
Yeah.
So the first kart, obviously at that time we didn't have a factory, we didn't have anything. We had it was an idea, right? Which Dad and I discussed. So we studied about how karts run and the regulation aspect of karts and stuff like that. And in those days, there was no internet. So we had to drive to Pune. There was no internet here in Belgaum. Pune had internet. So we'd go to the cyber cafes in Pune and browse the net. Two of us sitting down and looking through, different websites and more on the regulatory part of it, more on the racing part of karting. So in fact, our first kart that we built was based on reading through all of this. We built naturally, our first kart was a racing kart, which didn't really serve the purpose as far as penetrating the karting market over here, which was growing at that time. And I must go back a little bit. So when I finished my engineering, there was this people were beginning to set up go-karting tracks, and they were importing their karts, and that's where we saw the potential of starting a karting business. So that's how it all actually really started. I was always been a petrol head. Dad's always been a motorcyclist, and Vega helmets was Dad's creation. I mean, he started Vega, and so he was into motorcycling and helmets and safety and all that. And here I was a mechanical engineer, finished my mechanical engineering and a total car buff. So Dad and I talked about start doing this together, and that's how we started the thing. And the first kart that you asked about was actually built at a small little roadside fabrication shop, which I'm sure there'll be some pictures that will pop up during this video.
We'll insert it here.
Yeah. So it started at a roadside place. We had to build our first little jig and made components, made drawings, machined components, got parts made. Certain parts that weren't available, like wheel rims and tires. So we had people fly them in, send them in from abroad, our contacts and friends from overseas. So the parts came in like that, and we actually built our first kart in the drawing room of our home, and that's how it all it started off from there. And we showed that kart off. We did our first test at the airport, at the Belgaum airport, which at that time was shut. So that's also a very interesting story. And then we realized that this is the wrong kart. We need to be doing a rental kart, because that's what the market wants. These are rental tracks that are setting up. There's no racing in India. India was new to go-karting, right? So that's what we did. We then went back to the drawing board and we built our first rental kart.
Okay.
Yeah, and of course.
So you guys actually drew your first kart from the scratch. There was nothing to look at. There was no inspiration to take as a reference. Well,
the inspiration only came from the internet and wanting to build these things. Yeah. I got my first bit of experience of building a vehicle, so to speak, when I was doing my engineering in my final year project.
Okay.
We built a team of 6 of us, and we built a concept car, a tiny little 2-seater, which was at that time the need of the hour, the need for the market. A small little compact little family car for 2 people.
Okay.
So people who weren't comfortable riding on a motorcycle could get into this little car. And then of course many years later the Nano happened.
Yeah.
But this was way back in 96, 97.
Yeah. Okay. And guess who test rode this concept car that he's talking about? It was actually his almost 80-year-old grandmother.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that this being a car buff that he spoke about, it probably runs in his family, because everyone in his family, starting from his grandparents, his parents, his sister, and him, of course. So they're all into
machinery
automobiles,
and
machinery, and the love and craze that they have.
Not just building a go-kart, but they built every part of the go-kart, and
component.
Then they got to the go-kart.
That's right.
Clearly, they had a very strong imagination also for them to be able to do this.
Yeah, so we used to dismantle the cart. There was no track in Belgaum, right? So we dismantled the cart, put it all in the back seat, in the boot of the car, drive to Pune at the closest track there was at that time, test the cart on Pune, and get feedback from the track owners and stuff like that. And they had Dino karts running at their track, and we had to pitch ourselves against the Dinos, right? So I mean, that was our sort of yardstick, and so it evolved from there. We saw the karts, we saw the way it was performing, we saw what we were up against, and where we could make changes. So that was actually really our first exposure to another kart brand. We hadn't seen any kart live We didn't have the resources to import a kart and fudge it, which thank God we didn't, because if we had done that, it would have just been, wouldn't have figured out the designing aspect and the geometry
Correct.
aspect
It
and
would
the
have been
handling
just
aspect.
another brand out there
It
in
had
the
just been
market.
something else. It had just been, and we wouldn't have really understood how things work. Here we failed, we learned,
Correct.
we went back, and we got stronger because of that.
That's a very interesting story as well.
Yeah,
how
it is.
you all went to Pune, and I remember you telling me about this.
Yeah. Several trips to Pune. Yeah.
No, that time when the track owners decided to, like, once they tested it and the kart didn't suit their preference.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. So when the first prototype, the first rental kart prototype didn't work as we expected. Why? Because it was, we took it off we bounced off the design from the racing kart, and the racing kart and the rental kart you can't. They're just not on the same platform at all. And the rental car actually didn't do well at all. It just didn't handle the way we expected. Anybody expected, and it was these guys looked so disappointed, and they talked about if this is what it's going to be, I'm sorry, thank you very much. It was it was very disheartening. But then I told Dad. Dad and I went to walked aside and said, "What are you going to do? What's this?" I said, "Dad, just relax. I think I know what's wrong now. I just, this has taught me what we need to do, what changes we need to make." And, and then we came back. We came back in a week with a brand new design, a brand new kart, which was something else. Yeah. They were able to run with the Dinos. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so going back to the early days of KnK, what were some of the challenges you all faced?
Well, first of all, being here so far out of Belgaum, we did have a little bit of trouble training personnel, getting good skilled personnel, workforce. So that was one of the main things. Manufacturing wise, not so much. That was not really the issue, but more the management part. So that was one of the things. Of course, because in those days the volumes were smaller, so getting manufacturing for the kind of volumes that we required was very difficult. So we had to obviously go to bigger cities to get the manufacturing of those components done, which meant those were expensive. So yeah, I mean, there's, like any business, there are going to be challenges and there are going to be hurdles and stuff. But specifically to us, unique product, not people not knowing what the product is, what go-karts are. People would think that it's a car. Can it be driven on roads? Those kind of questions. And of course, we would have certain issues with certain departments of the government. But we had to just clarify, those things. These are normal things, I guess. It's a unique product, so it's always, going to be a little bit of a hurdle trying to explain the product. But now I think it's become, with all the movies that are featuring go-karts and the following for motorsport in India has also grown. So now go-karting is a well accepted, and well-known sort of a, product. So it's easier now. But yes, initially there were these, these hurdles.
And then cut to COVID. That must have also been like a very challenging time for this industry, right?
COVID was like most industries, COVID was tough. For our industry, for the entertainment industry, particularly, it was more difficult because the entertainment industry was one of the last ones to open up.
Correct.
So yeah, so I think if I remember right, we were allowed to, karting tracks were allowed to open up in the month of October of 2020. Yeah. So in October, so we had to survive 7 or 8 months of no business. Yeah. So that was a tough time for us, no doubt.
Yeah. And how has it been after post-COVID?
Post-COVID, I think there's been quite a surge in the market. I think by and large, overall, people, the whole entertainment industry has sort of, what should I say, like there's been like a vengeance. People were locked down and not allowed to, go out and travel, and hoteliering and restaurants and entertainment and theaters. All of these public gathering sort of things were shut down. I think post COVID taught us about the importance of just going out and having fun and having a good time with family. So I think there's more. There's that whole sector now has grown at a rapid rate post COVID. Yeah, the entertainment industry is doing very well post COVID. The number of tracks coming up, tracks are growing. They're also ordering more karts. They're expanding their businesses. New tracks coming up. All that kind of thing. We've only noticed this post COVID.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So over the years, can you share like a few special milestones that KnK has had, or celebrated or cherished?
There's been so many. I think being passionate about developing and designing and making new products, I think every new product is a milestone. It's just so much that goes into developing these products, and there's such a big dream about getting this product out and how the market is going to accept it, and so many expectations, and of course the market by with just accepting that product and being because it's unique, it has certain features, it looks good, it runs well, performs well, and that kind of thing. That is always going to be a high. So there's been several things like this, market-wise and product-wise rather. But also we have developed several other things, like I talked about a little while ago with the track segment of the business, setting up go-karting tracks, and we've evolved with that as well. We've got so many new products that we're doing, so many new safety systems that we've designed. We've gone into lighting, we've gone into multi-level tracks. We're doing, it's multi-level tracks is the big thing now. So these are all very exciting, new products. So every product really is always been, is like a shot in the arm for us, and that's what keeps us going and getting new products out in the market. So the World Formula, when it was introduced way back, I think it was in the year 2007 or 8 by the CIK. That was that we were one of the first brands in the world to develop the World Formula. Yeah, it was a very significant moment for us. Another significant moment was when we were, we developed the two-stroke race. This two-stroke racing started off in India in about 2005 is when two-stroke karting came to India, and we started racing. And we were again the only manufacturer in India to develop two-stroke karts.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
And we raced them against all the foreign brands because of a lot of foreign brands. People were importing their karts. And they were available over here to Indians, and we were racing KnKs against those brands and winning, even at Asia Zone races, which we had here in India and overseas in Malaysia. We would often go and win these Asia Zone events. So these have all been significant, milestones for us. KnK Tires was one of our, I would say it's like a big stepping stone for us, because that's what allowed us to mass produce race karts. That is the first platform that enabled us to race, mass produce race karts and race them as single makes in those days. You're talking about 2001, 2002. So that was another significant time for us. So when we got into manufacturing race karts in quantity, in bulk, and racing them and running the event for them, that gave us a lot of experience. Fantastic experience, yeah.
Yeah.
So many other things that we've done, significant things that we've done. We were responsible for changing the classification of go-karts, because all along go-karts were classified as automobiles.
Okay.
And they were being charged a wrong tax. It's not an automobile. A go-kart is a toy. It's an entertainment machine. It's run on closed loop circuits, and they're not automobiles. Just because they have an engine and tires and you drive them, it doesn't make them.
So automobile tax is a little higher than the...
much higher. Yeah.
So about 10% higher.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
So we were responsible with changing the classification. There was an advanced ruling that we brought about. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are all significant things that we've done for the industry. Of course, safety-wise also, there was plenty of things that we've done for karts. We were amongst the in the world amongst the first go-karts to incorporate roll hoops and seat belts into leisure karting. So when the KnK talked about, they were suggesting that kart manufacturers use roll hoops and seat belts, we were right there. We put in roll hoops and seat belts. We had rear axle covers to protect the. These are all things that karting didn't have initially, and the KnK was suggesting these. They were making these suggestions, and we took these and we incorporated them because for us, safety was always an important concern, especially in India with our socio-economic conditions, and we tend to neglect safety, and oversee safety, simple safety things. We try to cover all bases by incorporating these features in the karts.
Okay, so what would you say is the secret behind KnK's long-standing success and resilience in the market?
Well, I think it's important for not just KnK, anybody, any company or any brand to keep up with the times, keep up with what the market wants. Be totally involved. I, as an owner of the company, I need to obviously, keep a tab of what's going on, the latest trends, safety. Again, I keep mentioning safety. Constant innovation, development and stuff like that. I think that's the most important thing. We've got to keep on at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the kind of environment we have. We built that up over the years over here.
These are women who wake up early, who are cooking for their families.
Karts for every segment, for every requirement. Yeah.
That is something that KnK has contributed towards.
Schumacher came from a poor background.
Okay.
I'm still hunting for that photograph. I have some
Special occasion of 25 years.
I would definitely like to reach out to all of you guys and thank you all our customers. I'm not going to disclose too many of them. Obviously, there are going to be lots of new karts coming out, new models, exciting stuff. So the next 25 milestone?
Yes, of course.